It's time to sit back and check out the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. Get fun, in-depth coverage and analysis from the latest in professional wrestling in AEW, WWE, NWA, Impact Wrestling, or the world of entertainment. From hit TV shows to your favorite sports like the NBA or NFL. All things music, movies, and beyond, while trying to make sense of this crazy world we live in. All while keeping it honest, insightful, and interactive since 2011. And now your hosts, live from the nation's capital of Washington, D.C., Lee Sanders.
Hey, what is going on? Covering the latest in wrestling, entertainment, and beyond since 2011. You are checking out Wrestlemania 39 Night 2 coverage, our post-show edition of the RCWR show for this. It's at least Sunday for the next 14 minutes of April 2nd, 2023. Minutes removed from Night 2 of the WrestleMania extravaganza weekend. It's now officially in the books. What did you guys think about WrestleMania Night 2? Sound off. Got a poll on Twitter and Facebook at the RCWR show wanting to know. So I know in regards to YouTube, I got a head start on it probably about 20 minutes ago. I put it up right as the main event match had began. Whereas the Twitter poll, that was put out literally within the last 10 minutes, but there's a decent amount of you guys that are just firing off so far. So, hey, if you don't have the Twitter, but you got the access on the YouTube channel, definitely go vote over there, youtube.com/the RCWR show, and click on the communities tab. Look, I got to tell you, man, because I was noticing it, and anytime I'm noticing it, and those that are paying customers for I'm talking about Peacock. All right, so let me explain this, right? So I pay $4.99 a month for Peacock, and so my ads are very limited, but there is a workaround for that. And I said this before to you guys, so if you're not aware, you can kind of tell when WWE is putting their own commercials in place of whatever match maybe is getting ready to go down, whatever segment. You can always tell when, okay, this is WWE versus, oh no, this is something that NBC Universal, they're putting in their ads in this. And usually the workaround for the latter is all you got to do is back out, and then you go back in and you can stay just seeing WWE content. And then you have those that pay a higher tier for their Peacock, and they don't see any ads, but they'll still see whatever WWE, WWE themed ads that WWE has created themselves, right? You'll still get that. But this was a night where, in regards to ads, I'm not talking about NBC Universal ads. I'm just talking about WWE in general. Tonight, Night 2 was just spamming the hell out of freaking ads like I don't know what, man. It was ridiculous. It just felt like the last 40 to 45 minutes, like if you just add up the entire show, it probably would have been much shorter, maybe by about 30 to 40 minutes, give or take, because there were so many damn ad spots. And, not for nothing, but we all noticed this just a tiny little bit in regards to the ads on night one. We're looking and going, wow, WWE, they are really loading it up. They're really working with different sponsors left and right here. Okay, well, hey, get that money. Okay, cool. And right down to the point, didn't talk about it last night, but the fun spot there of an advertiser in General Mills for that whole Cinnamon Toast Crunch while Rey Mysterio is beating his son's ass. Ah, yes, nothing screams like good father-son bonding than a father kicking his son's ass over a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, brought to you by General Mills. But yeah, just some of the ad placements that we had going on Saturday night, night one, but then you go into tonight, and it was just mad overkill. I mean, we were seeing so many. The main villain for this weekend, definitely TurboTax. But I mean, look, you can look at it this way. Tax day is around the corner. And Lord knows, all those people that were there in attendance for WrestleMania weekend, Lord knows, they definitely, if they haven't already, they're going to need to do their freaking taxes so they can get a nice good chunk of change back and everything, right? Not to mention, for some of us, honestly, I have a golden rule in this house. As soon as you get your W-2, give it to me, we'll do your taxes. So we're good as of January. I do a different couple of people's taxes, and nothing pleases me more than to hear that before the end of the month of January, they got their returns electronically already. Pays to do it early. If you procrastinate till like the last minute, yeah. So, look, I mean, we're just automatically dealing with WrestleMania Night 2 officially in the books. I mean, it's barely been off 10 minutes, but just overall, night 2 was pretty good. I would honestly have to say night 2 was pretty good. That main event match, that was just pure emotional drama that was going on in there. But for what it was worth, despite the near falls, despite spamming the hell out of false finishes, despite the fact that it got so crowded there towards the end, it was still a very riveting back and forth main event bout between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. As, yes, to the point that was made in the chat, still your WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion, your undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, Roman Reigns. And look, if you've been checking out the show for a good minute now, you know how much of a Roman Reigns fan I am, right down to the point. You see the shirt that I'm pushing tonight, okay? You see I'm representing the bloodline in full effect, okay? You can't even see it in the background, but I have a nice, cool picture from WWE Shop when Roman Reigns first came back. It was at the Payback pay-per-view, and he basically became the Universal Champion that night. And pretty much everything has been history since then. I have not betted against Roman Reigns since he pretty much came back from his leukemia, situation there. Good while back. And I have not relented on the man. And it was a tricky one when I was offering up predictions for this match between Roman Reigns and Cody. I said, man, you got this guy so close to capturing 1,000 days. Why not just go the extra mile? Why not go a little bit longer and get those 1,000 days? And you know what? If anything, go on ahead and switch titles. Have Roman drop it at SummerSlam. Because now at this point, I think Roman needs about somewhere between 30 to maybe 35 more days, and then he's going to have that 1,000-day record. My whole argument was, you're that close, why not go surpass, extend it even further, give it to Cody at SummerSlam. And I said, I like the idea of Cody, this should be his moment, but now why not go the Rocky route? Why not go that route, okay? And I even made I suggested the idea there that maybe someone like Diamond Dallas Page, who is extremely close to Cody Rhodes, grew up with Cody, as a matter of fact, and everything. Maybe you could somehow have him come back in storyline into the life of Cody Rhodes and pretty much give him those last needed tools to get over that hump, and ultimately he does dethrone Roman Reigns and everything.
I still think that's probably a interesting route that you could possibly go in, but we could talk more about that at a later date. But you guys could definitely sound off, let me know what you think. However, I polled you guys earlier today. I wanted to know, who did you have winning this main event match? Put this poll up on Twitter at the RCWR show. Actually, no. I meant to put it on Twitter. I ended up not doing Twitter. I ended up doing it on Facebook, and I put one up on the YouTube channel in the community section. Let's go to YouTube first, and I'll sound off more about what I thought about that main event match, by the way. But here's how you guys voted. Just earlier today, this was about 8 hours ago. 31% of you had Roman Reigns retaining the title. Meanwhile, 69% of you said Cody Rhodes would win. This is on the YouTube community poll board, okay? And let's see what you guys had said via Facebook at the RCWR show. Always remember, between shows, I'm usually interacting, posting all different types of stuff on the community's board there on YouTube and also via Facebook. All right, so here we go for the Facebook poll. Can it give me a percentage breakdown? It doesn't give me a percentage breakdown. Hang on, let me see what happens if I click on Insights here. No, that doesn't help me either. Okay, so the way this is looking, this seems to be about 80% of you felt that Cody Rhodes was going to win. Meanwhile, 20% of you thought Roman Reigns was going to retain. And that was almost the main theme that you saw on social media. There was definitely a decent amount of people that felt, yeah, you know what? Cody should get this. This is his story. This is it. And for whatever respected reason it was that you went the Cody Rhodes route, hey, that was your route. That's how you wanted to vote. That's how you voted. But then you had others that probably had considered what was going on with the streak, how long it just kept going and everything, and hearing how close he is to reaching 1,000. Or you just had those that felt, man, Roman is just such on a damn good streak right now. Why rock the boat right now? Why not keep this going just a tad bit longer here? I'm curious, for those that have voted for Roman, you know who you are. If you don't mind sounding off, definitely reach out to me all throughout social media. You could even send me an email, thercwrshow@gmail.com. Make sure you put the THE in there, thercwrshow@gmail.com, if you maybe want to remain anonymous and say, hey, yeah, I have voted Roman Reigns. Here's why. I'd love to hear your thoughts. What was your thought process in choosing Roman Reigns over Cody, right? I'm more interested in those that voted for Roman as opposed to Cody. I think I have a good idea why people had voted for Cody when it was all said and done. But yeah, that Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes match, a little bit overkill, yeah. Yeah, they probably should have trimmed that match by probably, I would say, about, God damn, they probably would trim that. I would have recommended they trimmed it by at least 10 minutes. I think a modest 10 minutes would have been fine. We all were wagering in the Discord, okay, what's the average that we think this match is going to be? How long do we think this match is going to go? And I predicted 31 minutes. I saw another for 40 minutes. Someone felt it was going to be a 23-minute match. We had another person saying, nah, it's going to be a 28-minute match. I don't know what the official timestamp is. I can actually check right now for you guys just to see. Because usually when you do the Wikipedia for the Wrestlemania joints, they usually do a pretty good job in updating as close to real time as possible so they can let you know what's going on there with the times. Yeah, so the official time for Roman versus Cody was 34 minutes 35 seconds. 34 minutes 35 seconds. So I was almost close. I said 31 minutes there and everything. But yeah, if they could have trimmed it honestly by about 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, 10 minutes. Sorry about that. 10 minutes. So I was looking at something else from night one. That had kind of threw me off there. I apologize. But yeah, if they could have trimmed it by almost 10 minutes, I think that would have been fine. I know I said that it was starting to become a bit of a clusterfuck towards the end there because you just had all types of interference that was going down. But all things considered, you just knew that the Usos were going to make some type of an appearance. You just knew they were. It just screamed, Usos ain't gonna just take this laying down because you have to tell this story properly. And the Usos have to come out. They have to show that they are still loyal to their tribal chief. For all intents and purposes, nobody said that the bloodline is banned from ringside or anything. So you knew deep down in your heart that surely those of you that voted for Cody, surely you all knew that there was going to be some type of interference from Jimmy and Jey Uso. And surely you knew that Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens would eventually come out and basically try to counterbalance the Usos. That is how I pictured all of that going down, to the point I even referenced it briefly when offering WrestleMania predictions. You can easily go back. I made it a standalone piece on the YouTube channel, so you can easily go back and check that out. So I didn't have a problem with how any of that played itself out. Solo Sikoa getting ejected earlier there after whipping Cody across the back with Cody's belt that basically was given to Brody Lee's son. I liked all of that. Everything about that was just, no problem. A little bit overkill, sure, but no problem with how things was laid out, all things considered. I love the fact that the way this match was laid out, booking-wise, they made Cody Rhodes look as strong as humanly possible. Having him kick out of a Roman Reigns spear, having him kick out of a Superman punch, you really gave this guy some serious freaking grit. Even when Roman Reigns went for that trademark rear naked choke submission hold, and most opponents he's able to take out with that, make him go to sleep and everything. The fact that you had Cody Rhodes eventually power out of that, they did a really good job. The way this match was laid out, I mean, you can lay a match out weeks or whatever in advance, but at the end of the day, it's all about those two men or women going into that ring and executing accordingly. Everything just worked together. Cody Rhodes came out of that bad boy looking like a bona fide, sure future WWE World Heavyweight Champion. He came out of there looking like a future pay-per-view or premium event main eventer without a shadow of doubt. Make no mistake about that. He officially has arrived. Now, some of you all may hear that and you may say, well, yeah, but he didn't get the belt. He didn't get the belt. Well, look at it this way. Not everybody gets to first base, first rodeo, that you finally are able to go up to that girl's apartment or boy, cup of tea, whatever. And, right, it doesn't always go down like that on that first rodeo. Coffee could just be that when they invite you upstairs for coffee. Coffee could be just that. It's just coffee. It's nothing else. Nothing else is going to happen. It's just coffee. Sometimes you just got to work just a tad bit longer, So I like this match, though. I did like it for what it was worth. Went down exactly how I felt it did. I know other people are going to be shitting on this. I can just imagine the amount of people that are going to be looking at this. And if you're a big fan of Cody, I would not be surprised to see people jump out there and say, well, damn, WWE freaking buried Cody Rhodes. Nah, they fucked up. They did it wrong with Cody. This isn't fair. This isn't right. There's probably nothing I can say that is going to make you feel any better, because the society that we're in these days, and I get, some of you all are like, man, we've built this up for so long with Cody Rhodes. We've pretty much been telling this story for, over a year, basically. Yeah, Cody had the pectoral tear and everything, and yeah, obviously he lost some time. He lost some momentum there, but he was able to gain it all back and then some. We tell this great, incredible journey. We have this guy win the Royal Rumble, and then, all right, he goes to WrestleMania, and then he doesn't come out on top. What the fuck, Lee? What the fuck? I hear you. I hear every single damn word that's coming from you. I do. But this is one of the best goddamn story arcs that you have going on right now, and you've got the perfect cast of characters for this story arc. And sometimes, and longtime listeners that's been with me for a good minute, you know my favorite saying: the chase is better than the catch. And I have always been a sucker. I've always been a fan for the chase is better than the catch. Because, all right, tag, you're it. You're finally the guy. Or the girl. You're finally it. You're the champion. Okay. Sometimes, as you all have seen that have watched your fair share of wrestling over the years, sometimes be careful what you wish for, because once they finally get to the dance and they become the man, some of those reigns, man, they crumble real quick. They crumble real quick. Some of them become transitional champions, unfortunately. You've got some people that, you know what, man, anytime this person has been involved chasing after a championship, they have been extremely good. Not so much when they are champion. And I think when you look at a prime example of that, look at Randy Orton. Make no mistake about it, Randy Orton probably has, if he could stay healthy, and I'm knocking on wood for him, he probably has maybe 2 World Heavyweight Championship reigns left in him. Definitely 1, but I'm maxing it out for 2. But look at everything with Randy Orton. Randy was always one of those type of cats. Every time something involving him and a championship, he was always good at chasing after whoever was the champion. Now, I don't feel that Cody Rhodes is going to fall into those respected categories. Not by a stretch. I'm not feeling that. Not by a stretch. I don't think it's going to happen, to the point I would actually be shocked if that were to happen. But Cody, Roman, this whole bloodline thing, you've got Kevin Owens, you got Sami Zayn, you've got the perfect cast of characters to continue to have this be ongoing, right down to the point. You could do, honestly, you got WrestleMania Backlash that's going to be coming up. I would not be surprised to hear some type of a big blockbuster tag match go down where, you know, they basically say, okay, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Cody Rhodes, you guys are going to be in action against Roman Reigns and the Usos. Or, hey, look, you know, if somehow Solo Sikoa gets put in there and it becomes basically an 8-man tag match, obviously Team Cody, you know, they got to figure out who's going to be their other guy to join them. Maybe they can go back to Montez Ford. Street Profits did kind of come to Sami Zayn's rescue, if I remember, some weeks back. My memory's a little fuzzy, though. I could be wrong about that, but to my point, they can easily slide in a 4th guy in there, and maybe you add some type of a stipulation in there, which basically says if Team Cody wins, then Cody will get maybe another shot at Roman Reigns for the championship, or he yeah, you could say that, but Roman never reveals, you know, when Cody is supposed to get that opportunity, and maybe he keeps pussyfooting around Cody for a little bit until finally we get to SummerSlam. That could potentially be one way you can kind of look at things, right? You could maybe look at it that way. Or a stipulation that you could go with is if Team Cody wins, not only does Cody get a shot at Roman Reigns for the championship, but he also gets to be put in a situation where the entire bloodline is banned from ringside. Make no mistake about it, Cody will become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. Make no mistake about it. And it's going to come because of some stipulation where there's going to be just straight up bans. Bans for the Usos, hell, maybe even bans for Sami Zayn and them, right? And in that moment, because the way I'm looking at this right now, this is only Act 1. You know WWE's MO by now. They don't like to, even if they've been building up something for an entire year, if this is officially the first act in which these two opponents are facing one another, WWE has been notorious for doing a 3-4-part act. So I would not be surprised if between now and SummerSlam, Roman and Cody, they go at it again, and then one more time, SummerSlam, and that is where the trigger is pulled for Cody Rhodes. So, you know, a lot to think about there, you know, a lot to digest, obviously. And again, some of you guys, you may not feel that, you know, you may not feel that, you may not like that, but that's just the way that I'm kind of looking at things right now. Fans forget that Roman lost WrestleMania 31, 34. Dude, I don't really think fans are even tripping over that, because we're on WrestleMania 39 now, going on WrestleMania 40. Most fans would not be able to even tell you what the card was for WrestleMania 31, let alone WrestleMania 34. And if you are, my God, you got a great fucking memory. But no, most fans, they're not going to remember that. Most fans are pretty much in what has been going on within the WWE within the past year. That's what they're really going to be tripping over from the past 12 months. I would say 6 to 12 months. They're mainly are going to be tripping over that. So marinate on that. No pre-show action as usual. First matchup of the night. I'll circle back to that match, by the way, as far as last thoughts goes, grading scale. You know, my letter grade for that and everything. Brock Lesnar defeating Omos, singles match, 4 minutes, 55 seconds. As always, when Brock Lesnar is in a unique position where he can get his match out of the way as early as humanly possible, make it so, because Brock Lesnar has a plane he needs to catch. He needs to get the fuck out of town already. Look, I felt that as far as the in-ring ability of Omos goes, this was Omos's best singles match performance to date. I wish I was pulling you all's leg. No, Omos went in there. He came off extremely loose. He was doing some new stuff in there that had me go, all right, big man, I see you. I see what you're doing there. Now, look, he wasn't doing no Hurricanrana bullshit or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But he definitely was. First of all, you could tell who was calling the shots in that match. It was clear as day. There was a few times in there where you saw Brock Lesnar doing his best to give some audibles in there to Omos, and Omos was doing his thing, right? But the fact that Brock Lesnar went into this match against Omos and he was bumping for the big man like a mofo, and keep in mind that Omos is still very green. As I've said for a series of months, Omos has cinder blocked feet, okay? Meaning he moves pretty slow. It was amazing how this match was laid out, because whoever was in charge, whoever was the producer for this match, they really made sure to highlight Omos's size, his strength, and really using that to mask all the other stuff that we fans are noticing about him. Although his footwork and all that, it is improving. A lot of other areas, he is improving. Definitely as far as that commanding presence, you are a giant. You are a freak of nature. You should be coming off intimidating. You should be coming off kind of monstrous and everything. You should be kind of letting some of those emotions out, playing up to the crowd. And as of late, Omos has been doing that. But this was really great seeing him. It almost felt like we were getting an Omos at full display of what he could truly be at his peak of potential. I love seeing him just throw around Brock Lesnar like a damn rag doll, because you're looking at this and right to the commentary team's point, which is, when's the last time you can recall seeing Brock Lesnar manhandled like this? And you're going, well, damn, did anything particularly go down between him and Bill Goldberg? Was maybe Brock Lesnar manhandled by Bill Goldberg? And you're thinking about it, you're going, no, actually. And you're like, was there enough? Well, damn, no, this kind of is maybe a first here. It's definitely a rarity that we're seeing Brock Lesnar just getting his ass handed to him from left to right and everything. Eventually seeing Brock Lesnar come back on the rebound. There was one spot I was a little bit concerned about in regards to Brock Lesnar, because I'm trying to remember if Omos did some type of a back release suplex or a back suplex, but I remember there was a spot where you're going, damn, hope Brock is okay, because it kind of seemed as though maybe Brock landed on his head a little funny, because when you see Brock starting to get to his feet, his head was purple. I'm talking about his face, his head, everything was purple. And you're like, whoa, that doesn't look right. The rest of his body, normal color, but his face and his head was turning purple, and you're like, that doesn't look good. Look, they kept it short. Got to give them high marks for that. Again, you're doing a good job in trying to do your best to protect Omos and everything. They did everything that honestly should have been done in this match for all intents and purposes here. They didn't go long, which was good, because I personally have always felt that the longer something goes involving Omos, the more that as far as the exposures go of his weakness is going to come into play. So they did a pretty good job with that. I got to say, I'm surprised that, all things considered, Omos didn't come away with this, with the win. I'm very surprised at that. I would have, if there was ever a match you put an asterisk by and say, I can see a twist on this one. Because even I had said, it would be nice. When I was offering predictions, I said it would be nice if they went with Omos. But don't see it happening. They're going to probably go with Brock. I really wish it would have gone with Omos. I definitely feel he would have been worthy of it. For the simple fact, 9 times out of 10, we're probably not going to get Brock. Then again, you got some loose reports that's out there that potentially Brock is going to be working WWE Backlash and one other pay-per-view, but that remains to be seen. I'm like this, until you see the reputable people, until you see the Fightfuls, the Observers, the PW Insiders, until you see them put some stuff out there confirming that, I would say take all that stuff that you're seeing as with a grain of salt. That's how I would look at it in a nutshell here. But they popped the crowd in this match with some of the spots that went down. Nice, fun, short, sweet. Went down as I thought it was going to be. I would give this one a straight up C. Straight up C. Can't go higher, can't go any lower. They did all right. From there, Raquel Gonzalez, Liv Morgan taking on Natalya, Shotzi Blackheart, Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville, the Karens, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler. Remember, this match was the WrestleMania Women's Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Match. Showcase. 8 minutes, 25 seconds. Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler picking up the win here. This was another C. I would have to give this match another C. here's what was interesting about this match. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, they were barely a factor in this match. And as we all know, Ronda Rousey, she has been dealing with a nagging injury and all that. And I got to tell you, the fact that she was even involved in some type of physicality, as far as I'm concerned, kudos to her and everything. But for me, what I saw with my own two eyes, unless we were watching something differently, Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, they barely did anything really in this match. This was really all about the other girls. And I think the other thing that honestly worked against all of these women participating in this match, for what it was worth, there really wasn't truly any history here with all of these women, as opposed to how things were kind of laid out there with the men's. You know, there really wasn't anything going on here with the women. It just felt so secondary by nature. You had a couple of sloppy spots in here, for what it was worth. That definitely had rubbed me the wrong way. But just when you thought maybe it would get better, it kind of didn't. This was honestly one of those matches that I looked at and said, is it over yet? Can we get on to the next match? I hate saying that. I hate feeling that way, but I love Ronda Rousey and I love Shayna Baszler to death. I do. I think highly of them, but this was just a piss poor, really a sore eye. Looking at this and just seeing all things considered, okay, so we did all right with Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Hey, we did all right with Asuka and Bianca Belair. But other than that, we really ain't been doing anything else with the rest of the women. Oh, and by the way, we got Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. But we're really not doing anything with the rest of the girls. Give it a C. I appreciate the effort. I give it a C. Intercontinental Championship match, Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, Gunther retaining the IC title, 16 minutes, 40 seconds. Can you say banger? Seriously, this was a damn good banger of a match. I enjoyed this big time. My biggest complaint about this match, I wish I could have gotten more. I could have watched this one for about 20, maybe almost 25 minutes here. The physicality in this one was just off the freaking chain, okay? These three men, for all intents and purposes, they were beating the living hell out of each other. I mean, they were beating the piss and vinegar out of each other. I love this. Seriously, I love this. This clicked on so many cylinders here. I really had loved this. This was a huge title defense victory here for Gunther, who was able to really showcase his ability to a bigger, wider, broader audience here. And if you're going about slowly trying to properly introduce Gunther to the mainstream WWE universe, I gotta say, of all the past newbies that came from NXT and has been transplanted to the main roster, the way that Gunther has been handled so far since coming up to SmackDown, it's honestly a great way that they've been utilizing the man. They have really taken their time with him, and I like that. I legit believe that one day we really will see this man under the right circumstances against some key opponents. Definitely a Brock Lesnar in there for sure. I could definitely see them doing something with the big man, and I'm quite sure that Brock Lesnar would be very, very happy to work with that guy for all intents and purposes. But I love this. It doesn't get any better. It doesn't get any uglier than the way these guys were in this, just brawling out here. I loved it. Great stuff right here. Probably my most favorite match my most favorite match, and that's despite the Cody Rhodes Roman Reigns match. No, this is my most favorite match, to the point I would actually give this match a solid A. I'm not going any higher. I'm not going any, because after A, you go to S. You go to that S rank. We're not doing the S ranking. It's either A or it's less than that. I can't go any lower, though. Definitely a solid A. Raw Women's Championship match. What's next for Gunther, though? That's the thing. What's next for Gunther? I would say that WWE draft, I would not be surprised if Gunther gets drafted over to Raw. I would not be surprised at that, because look, if you honestly set this up and you do it just right in time, if you could somehow coordinate it to when Cody Rhodes does win the Universal Undisputed Championship, and you could somehow build up in the process Gunther to be that main antagonist for Cody for one pay-per-view or two. You don't have to have Gunther win it, just one match or two against Cody. That'd be some damn good stuff. That'd be some damn good stuff right there. And then, of course, we're hearing those reports going on with Drew McIntyre. I mean, I guess we could kind of get into it a little bit here without being long-winded, because, we do have other matches that we need to go over. But I am aware about the news of Drew McIntyre. For those of you that's not aware, rumor has it that his contract with WWE, it's pretty much close to expiring. And it would seem that McIntyre and WWE, they are very far apart on a deal that is beneficial to both respective parties. I don't know if it's a money thing or what, but you would just like to believe that, man, Drew McIntyre, surely, man, you don't want to lose Drew. Seriously, you really don't. Now you can go back and reference the pandemic, because one thing that most WWE fans will remember is, because you think about WWE during the pandemic, and the first thing that comes into your mind is the Thunderdome, right? And we always remember how Drew McIntyre was the champion. He was the pandemic champion. That's how I dubbed him. And whoever was the pandemic champion for AEW at the time, I believe it was Moxley. It's like they stepped up. They had to step up at a very critical moment during that time and everything. And I thought Drew did a phenomenal job representing the company right down to the point. I felt, man, do that guy right. Whatever you got to do to keep him on board for another 5 to 7 years, do it. He's definitely worthy of being a future multi-time champion for some years to come under the right circumstances and everything. So I'm not really tripping over Drew McIntyre in WWE. I know other people are, to the point that they're doing clickbait stuff and all that. I'm not concerned about Drew. I think when it's all said and done, they will successfully be able to work out a deal. So we'll see. Keep your fingers crossed. We'll see. But I feel pretty confident that, look, if I'm going to be pretty confident in saying Roman Reigns is going to retain against Cody Rhodes, I'm going to have the same fucking convictions, and I'm going to say Drew ain't going nowhere. He's going to be there in WWE a little bit longer. Raw Women's Championship match was next. Asuka unsuccessful against Bianca Belair. By the way, entrances for this rodeo, honestly, best entrances that stood out to me, I know we're kind of jumping around a little bit, but best entrances that stood out to me, I got to give it to Bianca Belair. I love the fact that you had all of those, I wish I caught the name of the school that all of those girls were from, but you had all those female cheerleaders that were, it reminded me of days out here in DC when me and my friends, we would go up to College Park and we would go hang out sometimes at Maryland University, and then sometimes we'd go hang out at, the Georgetown campus and all that, and it just kind of reminded me of some of those sorority groups, just and then some of the cheerleaders and nice crazy dancing that they would do and everything. It was some nice cool stuff that they did right here. I liked Bianca Belair's entrance. I thought she had a really badass entrance. Edge, for what it's worth, had a damn sick ass entrance as well. I liked the music that he used when he came out, by the way. That was kind of cool. I really wish, though, it would have been the Brood music. I mean, if you're going to have it be Edge's Brood or Edge of the Brood, if you're going to have him come out and pay homage to that, and you're going to be referencing Gangrel a couple of times, man, just go on ahead for one night only. Pay the money. Just pay the money to the artist. Use that Brood music and go do the damn thing. But Edge had a sick-ass attire that he came out to, entrance and all. Roman Reigns with the orchestra hooking him up. That's how you do it. I don't know what was going on with Seth Rollins from night one, because Seth Rollins, he had some type of an auto-tune ringtone of an entrance theme going on with that conductor that just looks so comical. I'm looking at that freaking maestro and I'm going, is that Jack Black? Like, what the? He just looks so comical. But Roman's definitely had killed it. Thinking about some of the other participants in this one. Matter of fact, let me skim ahead real quick while I'm just thinking about entrances and attires and all of that good stuff. Yeah, that honestly was it. Those were the ones that mainly stuck out. Oh, but the real fireworks is yet to come. Seriously, I have a tirade of a rant you don't want to miss. I think you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But first, this Raw Women's Championship between Asuka and Bianca Belair. So for, what is it now, the third consecutive WrestleMania? Bianca Belair is basically going in here, getting the job done, and bada boom, bada bang, she is pretty much up out of there and everything. Look, this was another good one, because as soon as you heard that Asuka and Bianca Belair were coming up next after that triple threat match for the IC Championship, you're going, Jesus Christ, these poor girls got to follow up on that? Oh, man, they got their work cut out for them. What the hell, right? And somehow, I will admit, this match, which ran about 16 minutes, I will admit, the first 4 to 5 minutes, you had this weird, I would even call it a cool down period. You just had this weird transitional period where maybe they were just trying to fill each other out. Maybe they were getting caught up in the moment of the fact that they were in front of a sold out crowd and everything. But they were just going through the motions in those first 4 to 6 minutes. But then they started picking it up. And then even at that, you're still looking on at the match and you're going, well, this is okay, I guess. And if you were one of those people that felt a little bit turned off about the poor build-up to this match, right down to the point, you're kind of having your arms crossed and you're looking at this with a sour face, yeah, I feel where you're coming from. We can all agree that the build-up for this match, pretty lame. But the match itself was actually pretty damn good. It actually was pretty damn good. I don't think it was ever really a question that it was going to be good, but if anything, just the level of how good it was going to be. I know for me, I felt, this should be solid. But with what I saw by the end, it exceeded my expectations. So definitely, here's another one right here. Bianca Belair just continuing to steamroll through the competition, challengers left and right down to the point that you can't help but wonder what exactly, and my furry little daughter is scratching on the door, wanting to. I put her in the bedroom thinking I was going to be good for the night, but no, she's pulling a Roman Reigns right now. She has to be acknowledged, so we got to let her in. tell you, we gotta let her in. But going back to Bianca Belair, you're looking at the whole situation with Bianca Belair, and you can't help but go, so what's next here? We've done this really great job, WWE. We've done this really great job in building up Bianca Belair and everything, and what is ultimately the payoff here? What is it that we ultimately hope to accomplish here by continuing to have Bianca Belair be so dominant? Yeah, she's a great role model. Yes, she's a check. But you just can't help but wonder, in correlation with the upcoming draft, if maybe you have a young up-and-comer get a little bit of a rub from Bianca Belair, and if so, who would you actually have Bianca give that rub off to and everything? And I'm just everything, all things considered, with what I had saw from NXT Takeovers, what was that, their Stand and Deliver event. We'll see if we'll talk about that. I did put a poll up asking you guys, hey, what's going on? And shout out to Lewis, because Lewis was freaking out when he initially saw the early results. I wasn't tripping, but when he saw the early results, he was going, man, the people that are saying skip talking about NXT TakeOver, they obviously didn't see it, because this match was good, and this match was good, and this match was good. And I said, oh, okay, interesting. But I thought to myself, this is still early. We're going to have even more people that's going to vote on this. And I see the majority, you guys said, no, if you could talk about NXT TakeOver, we'd actually appreciate it. So we're almost done talking about WrestleMania, which is great because it's almost under an hour. I think as far as TakeOver goes, that'll probably be like a quick 10-minute. I won't go full-blown, but, I'll probably spend about 10 minutes after we're done with the Talk of Mania, show some love there to NXT, because they actually did have some damn good matches over the weekend. But as far as girls you could maybe have come up, get some type of a rub there from Bianca, I gotta say, I was pretty impressed with what I saw of Tiffany Stratton. She is coming along since the last handful of times I saw her. You could definitely put her into the mix. Isla Dawn is another one. Zoe Starks is really, really rubbing off on me. She's another one. Man, if my girl can stay healthy, Nikita Lyons, she is definitely one you want to continue to have your eyes peeled for and everything. But, they got to do something. But to my point, they got to do something there in regards to Bianca Belair, because this gambit and gauntlet of her going through opponents after opponents, I think at this point, you're probably just going to have to, what I had referenced when I was offering predictions, I think eventually you're going to just have to swap women's champions. You have Bianca go to Raw, and you have, Bianca go to SmackDown. No, I said it right. I said it right. Because there's something, hang on. Let me think a second. Because with Rhea Ripley now having the SmackDown Women's Championship, but she is currently a Raw superstar, I would imagine she'll keep bouncing between shows until she loses the championship, and then maybe at that point she becomes exclusive to SmackDown, if I'm thinking about this right. Meanwhile, you got Bianca Belair, who successfully was able to retain the Raw Women's Championship. So at this point, I feel if you want to keep Rhea on SmackDown, then you're going to have to pull a Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair swapping of the titles, basically. You're going to have to do something along those lines, I personally feel, which I don't really want to see that kind of crap happen again. That's why I'm going more for just have Bianca lose the title. You can still keep her on Raw, but I don't know, man. The more and more I'm thinking about it, I personally would love to see Bianca and the Street Profits just come on over to SmackDown, but We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I like what Mike is saying in the chat. Bianca needs to turn heel. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But I don't think they're going to do it, dog. I don't think they're going to do it because the PR work, being able to work with all of those kids, Bianca is like the black female John Cena right now. And I mean that in the most positive way possible. I don't mean that as a diss. I don't mean that as a negative. And at this point, it's like, man, do you really want to? Because, I mean, really stop and think about that. If you are, and look, I'll go there because I have to go there because I am black. I got to go there. And speaking as a black person, it's nice to see somebody that has my same skin tone that is doing so much good of positivity, and they're giving it back to their respected communities and all that. They're representing our culture extremely well. You know, I know we got some people, Bianca's not really black. Bianca's mixed with a little. Look, she's got black in her. God damn it, she's black in my book as far as I'm concerned. But, you know, to flip that, I think the only way you should go about flipping Bianca Belair is, okay, if you're going to flip her, do you have somebody that is really, really good that can slide in there, pick up that mantle, and run with it as the new female babyface, you know, to replace her? Because if not, you got to keep Bianca right where she is. Right where she is. I would not be surprised. And I would, you know what? Shout out to my colleagues out there. Shout out to those of you that happen to do interviews with WWE superstars. If you get an opportunity to interview Bianca Belair, ask her, and hopefully she won't mind answering the question, but ask her if she finds herself doing a whole bunch of Make-A-Wish grants. You know, is she constantly being asked to, you know, talk to some girls over here? I mean, you kind of already have just like a little bit of an idea, a little bit of, I think she does, but just with the little bit of stuff that you've seen. But I would not be surprised if Bianca were to say it's almost at a John Cena level as far as her blitzing that she does in meeting this kid or going to this school to speak, or, you know, doing this, doing that. So I'm there with you. I definitely agree. I just sadly think that it's not going to happen. So it's all about who is she going to give that rub off to going forward. Probably the most saddest, yet what a karma moment in WrestleMania history. So we had Bobby Lashley come out. Bobby Lashley, if you're following him on social media, he had this little video, and, you know, it was a nice little video. He basically was sitting in the stands, and he pretty much was reflecting on winning the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, and, you know, talking to a degree about the fact that, you know, hey, it kind of sucks. I'm not going to be performing at WrestleMania. So I guess WWE, they've been paying attention to what all's been said on social media, and they wanted to try to give Bobby Lashley a little bit of love. They actually had him come out top of the stage ramp, and they had him hoisting up the Andre the Giant trophy and all that. And you're going, well, that's nice, but be even cooler if we saw Bobby Lashley come on out there for some type of challenge, you know, do something with the guy. Shit. We go through just a shit ton of ad breaks. We come back, we get Miz and Snoop Dogg in the ring. Miz is taking issue with the fact that Snoop Dogg had booked Miz in a match 24 hours ago. We went through that whole Pat McAfee stuff. Snoop Dogg being offended that Miz has the tiny balls to step up to him and everything. And, you know, he reminds Miz, yo, this isn't your WrestleMania. This is our WrestleMania, right? This is our home, right? And Snoop Dogg is pretty much right and everything, right? So this pretty much sets up Snoop Dogg to introduce a bad guy, okay? And that bad guy was none other than, what is he now, 53, 54, 55-year-old Shane McMahon. Your boy lost it over here. Seriously. I as soon as I heard that music, I just said, Jesus fucking Christ. Here comes Peter fucking Griffin yet again. Hey, everybody, how you doing? Hi, WrestleMania season. Everybody doing pretty good. Sweating profusely and the whole fucking 9 yards. I'm going, why? We hadn't seen this guy in over a year. I legit was livid. I was livid. Yes, I know this shit is fake. Let me explain why I was livid. Let me see if I got this straight. We couldn't do anything with Bobby Lashley night one of WrestleMania. We couldn't maybe have him be the one to step up and challenge Miz. No, we're going to give that to Pat McAfee. Whatever. That was a wet fart. Now we're going into tonight. Oh, another Miz challenge. And we roll out Shane McMahon. Whose idea was this? Seriously, whose idea? I have a feeling I know whose idea it was, but seriously, whose idea was this? Who thought this made any fucking sense whatsoever? We hadn't heard a peep out of Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon ain't been involved in no goddamn storyline worth a damn. And Shane McMahon just pops up, and I'm supposed to be excited. Meanwhile, never mind the fact that there are men and women that have been busting their ass however many days of WWE programming, going on the tours and everything. This should be their freaking moment. Seriously, this should be their fucking moment. I'm running that company, you're running that company, and we got Bobby Lashley who can no longer wrestle Bray Wyatt. We're going, Bobby, dude, you're a former WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Yo, you were involved in some key story arcs and everything. We are so sorry that Bray, we're going to make this up to you. We're going to get you a match at WrestleMania. We're so sorry about this. We're going to figure something out for you. Don't worry about it. Two examples right there where you could have easily done something with Bobby Lashley and you don't do anything with Bobby Lashley. And tonight you did something with fucking Shane McMahon. Fuck out of here with that shit. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I looked at that move as nothing more than a power move by Vince McMahon and basically sticking it to the fans. I think that was Vince McMahon's way of saying, I'm back. This is still my show. I'm still the captain of this ship. I'm going to do what the fuck I'm going to do. I bet you $100 that we're going to see reports from Fightful and the other reputable people. We're going to hear stuff about, hey, the talents had no idea that Shane McMahon was even on the... Some people saw Shane McMahon. They just thought he was just hanging out in the back because Vince reappeared and all. Apparently Vince now has his own little office across from the gorilla position where he is supposedly just giving advice, wink, wink. But he's not interfering with the show. Well, what the fuck do you call Shane McMahon coming out there? Seriously, I'm not picturing Triple H. Steph, I've been thinking about it, and WrestleMania's missing something. I don't know what. I think maybe we need to give Shane a call. I'm not picturing Triple H. That does not come off. I'd be shocked to hear that was a Triple H call. I'd be shocked to hear that. And I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but I am gonna say this. Seeing Shane McMahon doing his stupid little strutting and then coming down the fucking ramp, getting in the ring. You got the referee, Jessica Carr, as Snoop Dogg is like, hey man, Miz, you made your bed, lay in it, go ahead, enjoy. Okay, so we're officially getting Miz versus Shane McMahon. A match nobody wanted to see, a match nobody predicted. I saw y'all with your predictions. Ain't nobody fucking predict a Shane McMahon appearance, let alone a Shane McMahon match. This match, thankfully, did not go even 90 seconds when all of a sudden, if you are a wrestling historian and you remember the infamous episode of Monday Night Raw when Vince McMahon came out, power walked his way down into the ring, and there were multiple WWE stars in there, and Vince McMahon blew out not one but both of his damn quads in the middle of the ring. Essentially, that is what happened with Shane McMahon. How the chickens have come home to roost. I looked at that and I said, karma's a bitch. That's what you get. That is what you get. I'm not wishing ill will on a motherfucker. Okay? I know a lot of people have been very vicious with their comments towards Shane McMahon and everything. I'm looking at it from this standpoint. If I'm a Shane McMahon or a McMahon and I'm being pitched to have some type of a match, if I have a fucking conscience, I'm going to go, you know something? Maybe a Bobby Lashley or somebody else that's been busting their ass, you know, maybe we should do something with them basically being in this spot. Hell, you could have done a segment where you had a bunch of WWE wrestlers that were pretty pissed off with The Miz because they were trying to figure out ways to get involved in WrestleMania weekend, and he basically was hot-shotting in them, and this ultimately was their fucking way to get payback on the guy. I would have settled for that, anything other than the crap that they had did tonight. So a speedy recovery to Shane McMahon, but I can't say that I can't say it didn't put a smile on my face. I know that's cruel, man. I know that's cruel, but that's just how much disdain I had for how all of that had played out. Now, I will give mad props where mad props is due. She needs to be given her flowers. Kudos to referee Jessica Carr. You hear so many good things about Jessica Carr, especially from Edge, but in this instance, I got to give her mad props, because if you didn't rewind it and you weren't paying attention in real time, go back and check it out. Jessica Carr, as soon as she realizes, oh shit, we got a situation here, she does a really good job in getting in front of Miz, letting him know, you know, hey, something is up here. And at the same time, you know, I don't know if she has some type of a communication, some type of hand gesture, signal or what with the cameraman, but cameraman right on cue, we're no longer seeing Shane McMahon. We see him kind of struggling as he's scooting around almost in a circle, grabbing on his legs and everything. You know, you're looking at that and you're going, yeah, something's going on here. But Jessica Carr quickly stepping in there, realizing some shit went down, and essentially pulling a fucking audible. Now, look, I don't know if somebody was in her ear or what. I'd be very curious to learn. But Jessica realizing, okay, we got a situation and we got to figure out some type of a way to get out of this, because the fans are expecting to see something go down. And you see Jessica giving audibles. She's telling Snoop Dogg, punch Miz. And you see her trying to communicate to the Miz what the next play is going to be. And then right down to the point, Jessica Carr says to Snoop Dogg, do a people's elbow. Send us home. Do a people's elbow. And Snoop Dogg does the fucking people's elbow. Yeah, was it lame as shit and all that? Yeah, it was. But Jessica Carr, mad props. Mad freaking props. She's very good. Very, very good at what she does. Always has the wrestlers' best intentions in mind. From what many wrestlers have said about her, as far as a match layout, you're in a position where you forgot what spot is supposed to be coming up next and all that. She is that safety net. She's got your back and then some. All right, so high marks right there. Hopefully that's the last time we see Shane McMahon for the rest of the calendar year. On a positive note, 81,395 were in attendance for WrestleMania Night 2. That brought the two-night total attendance to 161,892. That's badass. That is fucking badass. I love that. By the way, don't forget, WrestleMania is going to be in the city of brotherly love next year. It's going to be in Philadelphia. Can't wait. I'm looking for it. I already told the wifey about it. I said, guess where WrestleMania is going to be next year? She says, uh-oh. It's going to be on the East Coast? I said, yeah. She's like, New York? I was like, nah, it's actually going to be in Philly. She's like, Philly? She's been trying to go to Philly for the longest time because she's been trying to get me to go on a little tour out there with her, check out the Rocky Balboa statue, a couple of other things. And so to hear WrestleMania is going to be out there next year, I'm going to do my best to move heaven and earth to make WrestleMania weekend happen out there. So good stuff. Yeah, that Shane McMahon spot though, that was, I hate to be a dick. That was the funniest shit I've seen in recent memory. I gotta say, I howled with laughter. All right, Edge, Finn Balor, Hell in a Cell, up next here. What is going on here with this match? Everything wasn't fucking purple or red, but mostly purple. Finn Balor's makeup, purple. Purple kendo sticks, purple cage, purple steel chairs. Purple haze! Oh, in my brain. Okay, I mean, what the fuck was going on? I love purple as much as the next person. I especially love grape Kool-Aid, but goddamn. What the hell was going on here with this, man? Seriously, what the hell was going on here? This was some bullshit that was going on here. I think the kendo sticks were purple as well. A lot of purple. Barely red. A lot of purple was going on in this one. Edge defeating Finn Balor. 18 minutes, 8 seconds of a match. I hope you all figured out my grade for that whole Shane McMahon spot, by the way. I'll be sympathetic. I could easily give that an F. I really should give that an F. Fuck it, I'm going to give it an F. Sorry. I was going to say no rating, but I'm just going to give that an F. Finn Balor versus Edge, though. 18 minutes, 8 seconds. Edge coming away with the victory. I loved putting all those weird colors to the side. I did love this Hell in a Cell match. It had a nice throwback kind of vibe almost to Hell in a Cells I used to enjoy checking out during the Attitude Era days. If I had one gripe about this bout, it's the fact that at one point during the match, it was literally where Edge had some, what was it? I think he had a ladder. Maybe he had a ladder or a steel chair, something that he had. He threw it at Finn Balor, and Balor immediately was busted open. And for about 5 minutes, you had the referee separating these guys, having Edge go into a corner, maintaining him in the corner. Edge is just ready to fucking go. Physically, you see that Finn Balor, he doesn't care what's going on. He's got face paint on. He wants to keep going. But he's being denied as you basically have little EMT patch him up assistants out there. They're trying to clean his face up and all that. So it was the weirdest delay that you had, a significant delay, much longer and more obvious that something was wrong than what went down prior with Shane McMahon and everything. Right down to the point to kill time, we're seeing Edge. It's almost like he's starting to, I'm gonna build some blocks. It was literally kind of one of those type of deals. But then finally, because they were starting to build up great momentum, and then that spot went down. And all right, when you do that, and you have such a long delay, you're having a cool down period, and where now you got to work twice as hard to get back to where you just were, because you had the fans right there. And the longer that you have this delay, you and your opponent are cooling off. The fans are cooling off, right? So I wasn't a fan of how all that had went down when it was all said and done. Kind of a weird ending to the match when it's all said and done. I know there was a a coup de grace that freaking Finn Balor had missed from the top rope. I mean, his feet went right through a wooden table. I'm looking at that spot. I'm going, yeah, I wish I could do some of my. Matter of fact, I do actually. I do my recyclables like that on some Tuesday nights, or no, Monday nights going into Tuesday mornings. I do my recyclables like that when I have them in the bin and they're not properly being broken down. I just pull a coup de grace on them sons of bitches. Good stuff right there. Edge ended up hitting a spear for a near fall. Then, Edge follows up, unloads on a series of chair shots, does a concerto, picks up the win at the 18-minute, 8-second mark. I wasn't quite a fan of the finish to that because, and yeah, you can make an argument, well, not for nothing, Lee, but these guys, they've been beating the living hell out of each other going up to this point. But my whole thing is, yeah, but it's the fucking demon. You don't understand. This is the demon. This demon, he is so, like, on another level. He is on this supernatural high and everything. And I'm not saying it's like a Bray Wyatt type of level where you got to set this mofo on fire. But, it's the demon. Like, come on here. Like, make it a little bit more challenging. And, I wish it would have been a case where the infamous WrestleMania where Vince McMahon handed Stone Cold Steve Austin the steel chair, and Stone Cold Steve Austin, he just went off. I mean, he was beating the holy you-know-what out of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson with that steel chair, and just wham, 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 wham. I mean, he was in the double digits. He was in the double digits when he was hitting our boy The Rock. I wish that Edge would have just went to town. If they could have maybe done something like that after Finn Balor kicked out of the concerto, then I probably would feel a lot different about the way it played out. But all things considered, still a pretty good match. Very violent. Had some really cool spots in there. I love that one spot where Edge had put a kendo stick under Balor's neck, and there was another kendo stick that pretty much was going across the arms of Balor in the corner. And the way Edge used those kendo sticks, he pretty much used the cage's holes to lock Balor in there with those kendo sticks in the corner. I mean, he messed him up good. I loved it. I mean, it was innovative. Had a nice couple of spots in there. Right amount of violence. I mean, you pretty much were getting, for all intents and purposes, this was pretty much like a tables, ladders, and chairs match just inside of Hell in a Cell structure. I think many of you guys would definitely agree with that, but good stuff right there. From there, we get the longest commercial break. Wish I was being a dick, but we get the longest commercial break here because we had got so many ads. It wasn't even fun. And again, if you know that little peacock trick where you can back out, go back in, yeah, that's how you avoid NBC Universal's ads. But that's not how you're going to be able to avoid WWE's own ads. And we were just sitting through ads after ads after ads after ads after ads. It's like, get on with this shit already. We get the Hall of Fame class recap there. Nice seeing the Stacy Keibler family of Andy Kaufman representing. Great Muda. Tim White being represented there by his brothers as he's the 2023 recipient of the Warrior Award. Great call right there. And of course, the headliner himself, Rey Mysterio. From there, we get a recap of Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, going into our main event match for the undisputed Universal Championship. Cody Rhodes taking on Roman Reigns. By the way, yeah, you said it, Chloe. Yeah, you said it. I agree 100%. That Hell in a Cell match, I can't go any higher, I can't go any lower. I'm going to give that a B. B as in boy. Can't go any higher, can't go any lower. My grade for, because we talked about this match to open up the show. My grade for the undisputed Universal Championship match, a little bit of overkill. Could have trimmed on the time a little bit. you knew the clusterfuck was going to go down and everything. So that kind of went as expected. I probably would give this a respected... How do I feel about... You know what? I'm going to give them a B. I can't go higher. I can't go any lower. So see, look at this. This is how I'm grading this. On the one hand, you can look at this match and you can say that when all the chips were on the line and it was either put up or shut up, are you in or are you out? WWE, no matter how you may feel, especially if you feel they got it wrong with Cody Rhodes, they put all their chips in and they said, no, we are going to go with Roman Reigns. Because, to quote from a recent interview that Roman Reigns had gave, by the way, if you didn't check out the most recent interview that he did with Ariel Helwani, go check it out. I'll talk a lot more about it on Monday's show, but really gives you a great inside look to the man behind the character. But there was a couple of times in there where Ariel was kind of going into business for himself, and Roman was pretty quick to turn on the heel-like persona and everything. But go check it out. Love the reactions from the crowd and this one. The crowd was definitely pro. This was interesting. Because Cody had his fans, but you did notice some boos. You did notice the boos for Cody. Roman Reigns, that crowd actually loved them some Roman Reigns. I thought that was very interesting. They weren't really feeling him, though, when all the shenanigans was going on down there. Of course, closing moments, Paul Heyman coming up on the ropes. Matter of fact, I had jotted it down in my notes so I can go over it with you guys here. Yeah, final moments, Kevin Owens delivering a stunner to Roman Reigns. And then Sami Zayn connecting with the Halua kick. That dropped him off right there. Teams had pretty much took off after that. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they took off. That pretty much left Cody in there to pretty much finish the job and everything. He tried to capitalize, but that pretty much had only got him a 2 count. They're slugging it out a little bit more. Roman Reigns ends up missing a Superman punch. Cody sets him up for the bionic elbow. Crossroads. No, he ain't done yet. Connects with another Crossroads. He's getting ready to go for a third one. And that's when Paul Heyman had jumped up on the ropes, trash talking to the referee. Referee's trying to tell Paulie, yo, you got to get down from the apron. While the referee is distracted, we see this hooded individual, but you kind of figured out who it was because we just saw his attire not that long ago. Great, you got a hood on now. We know it's you, Solo Sikoa. Come on now. Solo Sikoa comes in there, delivers that classic Umaga spike to the throat of Cody. That pretty much sets up Roman Reigns to connect with a spear. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns retaining. So, on the one hand, great back and forth. You really were not sure how this was going to go down. Seriously, it was that much of a emotional roller coaster when it was all said and done. This was a ballsy move for WWE. For all involved, this was a ballsy move right here. Considering that this did live up to the WrestleMania main event spot. It did, with the story and all that. Cody is still protected. I hope most people realize that. Because you had a whole bunch of interference. You had a whole bunch of shenanigans that went down in this one. So Cody is still good, right? Because he did not lose cleanly to Roman Reigns, which lets you know that they're definitely going to be running this back a lot sooner than you think and everything. And it's going to prove to be even more interesting how they continue to build on from here with Cody and trying to chase Roman Reigns and all that. So, but yeah, I would definitely give this a solid B. I can't go any higher. I can't go any lower. So, Once again, Brock Lesnar taking on Omos. I'm giving that a C. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Chelsea Green, Sonya Deville, Liv Morgan, Raquel Gonzalez, and Natalya Shotzi. That's another C. Gunther, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, definitely an A. Definitely an A. Bianca Belair, Asuka. B minus, that's final. B minus, that's final. Miz, oh yeah, Snoop Dogg pretty much ended up being Miz's opponent because Shane couldn't, technically. But whatever the case, that's a F. Edge, Finn Balor. I'll stick to a B. B as in boy. I'll stick to a B. Can't go higher, can't go any lower. Then Roman Reigns, Cody. I'll definitely give that one a B as well. So yeah, overall grade, I probably would give this event B minus. I would say a B minus. That's fair, right? Just based off what I told you guys, as far as my personal ratings and all that, I think a B minus is more than fair. Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being crap, 10 being awesome sauce, I would say 7.5, 7.5, maybe an 8. Now, if you were to ask me, which night did I like more, I think night 1 was better than night 2 in many areas, but that's definitely up for discussion. Let's swing back to the polls. Let's see what you guys had to say. Definitely get some of you all's comments in there as well. If you've been enjoying yourself so far, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that like button, and if you're new, definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on future content that comes your way here on a weekly basis. All right, let's see what we got here. Going to Twitter at the RCWR show. So, as it stands here, 20% of you gave WrestleMania Night 2 a thumbs down. Meanwhile, 33% of you are giving it a thumbs up. 47% of you are staying in the middle. Appreciate those of you that have voted via Twitter at the RCWR show. Meanwhile, YouTube we go. I'm seeing 9% of you are giving it a thumbs down, while 18% of you are staying in the middle. Top dog, 73% of you are giving WrestleMania 39 a thumbs up. Appreciate those of you that cast your votes there. Going back to night 1 for WrestleMania, by the way. Night 1, looking at the YouTube community poll, got a tie for 5% at staying in the middle and thumbs down, while 90% of you are giving the event a thumbs up. That's just for night 1. And then if we go to Twitter at the RCWR show and look up the night 1 poll, I just got a notification how night 1 had the poll there. It just expired. The final results are in. 11% of you are giving night 1 of WrestleMania 39 thumbs down, while 89% of you gave it a thumbs up. Appreciate all of you that had cast your votes on that event. All right, I'm going to load up the comments here, and what I'll do to buy you guys on a little bit more time, because I'll spend the last 10 minutes of the show, 15 minutes of the show going through you guys' comments. You guys can tell me highs and lows for you for WrestleMania Night 2. Your overall rating for the night, and a little bit more if you want to chime in and everything. As at this point, all eyes are going to be on the Raw after WrestleMania. But real quick, I just want to give some bullet point thoughts. Not a full-blown review. We're not going to go nowhere near 30 minutes. I just want to at least talk for about 5 to 10 minutes about the NXT Stand and Deliver event that was on Saturday. And as I had said to you guys, what was it, night 1 of WrestleMania, sadly, I had no clue that there was going to be a stand and deliver. And had I known, because I think I mentioned this. Yeah, I mentioned it on Wednesday show. I apologize. I think I mentioned it on Wednesday show that had I known there was going to be a stand-in deliver, I would have tried to request having the day off from work or try to switch with somebody so I could watch the event, do a post show in real time and all that. But I would highly recommend for those of you that voted and you were like, nah, don't care about the NXT, you can skip it, I'm good. You really should go out of your way and watch that event. That event actually was pretty good. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. There definitely were some moments where I did some fast forwarding. For example, I didn't particularly care for the pre-show match. Yes, NXT did a pre-show match. It was Tyler Bate and Chase University's Tia Hall, Duke Hudson, and Andre Chase defeating Schism. Is it Schism? I'm just going to call him Schism. I like that name. Ava Raine, Joe Gacy, Rip Fowler, and Jagger Reed. 11 minutes, 9 seconds. I pretty much just, I don't really. I like Andrew Chase, though. I do find him to be pretty quirky. He reminds me of the genius, Lanny Poffo, right down to the point. I remember saying a couple of months back, before Lanny Poffo passed, I said, man, how badass it'd be to see Andrew Chase in a segment there with the genius. Like, it just writes it fucking self. Actual event, Indy Hartwell becoming the new NXT Women's Champion. That was a pretty solid ladder match for what it was worth. You had one spot where Tiffany Stratton, I must have rewinded that about 5 times because the initial angle I saw, I just said, holy shit, is her back okay? You had Tiffany Stratton, she climbed up on top of a ladder, and then she decided she was going to do some type of a back moonsault or whatever to crash into all the other girls. Because the other participants in this one, it was Roxanne Perez, who was defending the NXT Women's title, Zoe Stark, Gigi Dolan, Lara Valkyra. It looks like they're trying to say Valkyrie, but it's Valkyra, and Tiffany Stratton. And Stratton did this insane spot. This whole match was nothing but a spot fest, really, and you could kind of tell that these girls the way they were kind of moving around in there, kind of really not sure what was going on, but it was a big old spot fest. But Tiffany goes up to the top of the ladder. She does this weird back moonsault spot, and she lands on her back. And you're just going, damn. You could hear her back when it hit the freaking padded floor, if you even want to call it a padded floor. But Indy Hartwell finally becoming the NXT Women's Champion, I fucking loved it. I even loved the spot there where you're thinking, oh man, this looks like maybe Gigi Dolan, maybe she's gonna have this, but then just out of nowhere, JC Jane pushes her off, and homegirl crashes onto this ladder that's set up in the corner, right? So their feud, obviously, it's not done yet. You're thinking, yeah, is Indy maybe? Could she? Because she tries to take advantage and she seems extremely weak and all that. Leave it up to Dexter Lumis to make an appearance. And he literally slides in between her legs while she's on the ladder, giving her a thumbs up, and actually hoists her up to the ladder, guides her up to the top to become the new NXT Women's Champion. Look, it's a long time coming. I've been a fan of Indy Hartwell for a long time. Shout out to my brother-in-arms, Mish from Wrestling Soup. He knows this extremely well, how much I love Indy Hartwell. I remember me and him would be talking it up at times, and I would say to him, man, Indy's got to be the next NXT Women's Champion. And yeah, but he would always talk me out of it. He would say, yeah, that'd be nice, but that would mean she would probably be down there for maybe close to another year. She really should be coming up a lot sooner than that to the main roster, would be his whole argument. And it was kind of, yeah, you're right. It's nice to see that Indy, this makes me now want to start checking out NXT again on the regular, because I wasn't. I gotta be honest with you guys, she's cute, She's easy on the eyes, but I wasn't feeling the Roxanne Perez experiment. That just, it wasn't doing anything for me. And then the fact that Bronson Reed, he is still the NXT champion. Psych, I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. No, we got a new NXT champion, and Carmelo Hayes. He be that man. He is him. That is. Oh God damn! I love that dude, man. That dude is so fucking phenomenal. Everything he touches, it's just money. That dude arrived. I love it. I love it. The fact that we got a new NXT Women's Champion and we've got a new NXT Men's Champion. Yo, man's definitely going to be checking out NXT on the regular now, because when it was the other way, I just wasn't interested. There was just way too many slapstick kind of BS things that was going on for my personal taste, but with these in play, that's good. Carmelo Hayes is definitely somebody that is going to be ranking pretty high. As long as he can continue to wrestle his style, be presented the way he's currently being presented right now in NXT, when you get ready to bring him up to the main roster, as long as you can keep all of those things intact, that man is going to be in the top 10 of the PWI 500 for consecutive years to come. Bank on that, right down to the point. I will jump out there. I will put my reputation out there. I don't care. I strongly believe that this man will be number one on the PWI 500 in the near future. He's only 28 years old. I definitely believe he'll be number one for the PW 500 at least 3 times at some point in the next 8 years. Remember that. You heard that here first. You ain't gonna hear nobody else jump out there like that. I'm not dick riding. I'm not over exaggerating. I know money when I see it. I know a special breed of talent, a generational talent when I see one. Carmelo Hayes is that man. So y'all better watch out for him. Very, very solid match there with him and Braun Breaker. Good stuff. Alba Fire, Isla Dawn defeating Fallon Henry and Kiana James to basically retain the NXT women's tag titles. Was what it was. Felt a bit below average. Probably the weakest match on the whole card, I would personally have to say. Wes Lee successfully defending the North American Championship in a fatal 5-way match against Axiom, Dragon Lee, Dragonoff, JD McDonough. Good stuff right there. That's another one I would say go out of your way. Check out Wesley, really, one piece at a time, really chipping away there, doing a good job chipping away, making his claim as a stud as far as a singles competitor goes. The Johnny Gargano, Grayson Waller unsanctioned match, man, I fast forward the hell out of that. You've seen one Johnny Gargano match, you've seen them all. Crash test dummy. That's basically how I look at it. I've never done so much fast forwarding in my life. That's probably another one. Look, I get the storyline that they built in there too with Shawn Michaels, and it's kind of looking as though Shawn Michaels was maybe going to wrestle him and all of that. But yeah, I did so much fast forwarding on that. He would fit right in with AEW, wouldn't he? You want to look at that as a knock, that's on you. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Gallus retaining the NXT tag team titles as I think Joe Coffey's brother, Mark Coffey's brother, Joe Coffey, made his return final seconds of this, pretty much screwing the hell out of the Creed brothers there, because it looked like they were pretty close to getting the job done, but screwing them. Now you know why Gallus was so confident that they were going to walk out of Stand and Deliver, still the NXT tag champions. Tag match was actually pretty good too, to the point, honestly, I'm just looking at this whole card. If there was one match where I would say, yeah, you know what, we can actually cut this, it's fine. If you're going to show this match, have it be part of the pre-show. The unsanctioned match between Johnny Gargano and Grayson Waller. You could have honestly made that be a pre-show match. I mean, it's an unsanctioned match anyway, so what the hell does it matter to put it on the actual card? Why not have it be on the pay-per-view? But you either put that on the pay-per-view and or you put the NXT Women's Tag Title match. But of the matches, of the 7 matches, definitely I would encourage you all, go out of your way, check out the Triple Threat Tag match for the NXT Tag Titles. Check out Carmelo taking on Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship. And definitely check out the Fatal 5-Way for the North American Championship. After that, you're done. So just watch 3 out of those 7 matches, and you guys are definitely good to go. All right, let's spend these last couple of minutes going into some of you all's comments here. It's actually my favorite part of the show. By the way, you guys enjoying yourselves so far? If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe. Click the bell notification so you always know about new content coming your way. We do multiple shows a week. All that good stuff. Always uploading new content. But definitely hit the like. That helps us out a great ton. Helps get more eyeballs on the content, newer listeners, newer fans of the content. And see what you guys are saying here. Let's see. And still your undisputed champion, Roman Reigns. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Rui, the finish to the main event match is shocking. Felt swerved. Then mission accomplished. Then they did their job accordingly. What's your name? Rui? I think your name is Rui. If I'm saying that wrong, let me know. I'll say RS for now. Yeah, then their mission is accomplished. Nothing is better. You know what? When you're expecting something, and it's almost in a way where you're expecting something as your due, sometimes it's good to get that nice little swerve. You feel where I'm coming from? It almost kind of reminds me of... I told you guys on night 1 about how I had, got my driver's license. First time ever. I'm a first time ever driver. I told you guys about it and everything, but I didn't tell you this part. And it relates to what RS had just mentioned. I remember after I had got done with my road test, my instructor, he goes, at the DMV, the instructor, he goes, "So, Mr. Sanders, do you think you passed?" I mean, he's looking at me with like these dead cold stare. He's got a serious demeanor on his face and all that. And I go, "Yeah, I think I did pretty good." He's like, "You think so, huh?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think out of 100%, I probably did about maybe at least a 90. And he goes, "No, I'm afraid not." I'm like, "What? What'd I do wrong?" He's like, "Here, take this paper." I'm like, "Okay." And wait for your number to be called. They'll get you your license. So he swerved me. I was like, right? Here I am expecting something, almost essentially that's within my due. And I'm thinking, hey, I did fucking good. You can't tell me. And I get a swerve. It's good to get swerves like that from time to time, man. Seriously. I love a good swerve. I love a good swerve. So as long as you don't let up on the amount of emphasis that you've put into the storytelling up until that part. So as long as you have been very methodical and how everything has been laid out, where exactly you see this final chapter going and all that, and to kind of follow up on Nick Khan and a couple other people, yeah, our WrestleMania joints, our storylines, they're months and months and months in advance and all of that. Okay, well, in looking at this stuff that's going on with Roman Reigns and them, I'm going to hold your feet to the fire and assume that you guys definitely have a couple of more months in mind for what all is going on here, right? So, yeah. Let's see. HP, that match was awesome. Truly, it was. Yeah, Cody and them, they did fucking good. They did fucking good. They delivered on so many levels. Again, was it a little bit overkill? Yes, it was. It was definitely overkill in a few areas. but and again, a bit spammy in a few areas, but still pretty good of a awesome effort. Cody, man, ever since he has come back to the WWE, this rodeo, Cody is basically, you know how they were dubbing John Cena Big Match John? I think pretty soon you're going to have to start calling Cody Rhodes Big Match Cody, because this guy has yet to deliver a semi-bad match. Am I right or am I wrong? You guys sound off and let me know. Again, so far since he's been back in the WWE. I'm even including before the pectoral tear. I'm just including all of that. He has fucking been crushing it, man. Seriously. Good stuff. It's only going to make the rematch between Roman and Cody even that much more monumental, you know, even that much more badass as far as the anticipation and all of that. Fatih is saying, see you all SummerSlam 2024. Reigns versus Lesnar. They hype him and advertise him for a whole year. Damn. I know, man. I understand where you're coming from, man. Truly, I feel you, man. I feel you, but this is one of the best. Let me ask you something. And see, sometimes you just got to think from a business standpoint. Let's say you're a cook. Let's say you've got a really great dish that you see customers keep coming back to over and over and over again. You offer all these other great tasty dishes at great affordable prices, but your customers keep coming back to you for this one particular dish that you offer. And it turns out it's actually the cheapest that's on the menu. Okay? Do you eventually, okay, I got something going on here with this one particular dish. How can I figure out a way to make as much money off of that one particular dish as possible, while potentially at the same time trying to encourage folks to try these other dishes that I feel are pretty good as well, which could essentially generate me even more money, right? And so you start strategizing, you're trying to figure out what all you can do, you're trying to figure out the layout, what all you're going to need, and so when you got a good thing that's going on, do you do a 180 on it eventually? Do you say, okay, you know what, we've made a decent amount of money off of this, but it's time to wrap this up because I want people to buy this other stuff? Or do you go, nah, I'm gonna ride this bad boy for all it's worth? Seriously, I'm gonna milk it until I get every single last freaking drop out of it, and then some, right? You probably are gonna go with the latter, man. Most likely, probably gonna go for the latter. You got so many people that are eating this bloodline stuff up, the merchandising, whole 9 yards. I mean, you got to give WWE a lot of credit from this standpoint. They had talked about this a couple of years ago, which was they wanted to invest more in long-term storytelling and make sure that it's applied, especially when it comes to championship reigns. And to their credit, yeah, I know you guys remember when they were talking about that. To their credit, they have freaking done that. You got to give them mad props for being consistent. They may not be consistent in a few other areas in a positive way, but in that particular case, they're definitely there. Darkin, Cody Royal Rumble win and wins over Seth and Solo. I see Trucker Timmy's throwing up the bloodline symbol. Mike's pretty happy that Roman Reigns won. He's so excited, and he just can't hide it. Let's see here. Seeing we're getting some props from what I said earlier there about Shane McMahon. Yeah, keep him as far away from the cameras as humanly possible. Seriously. Ravi is saying that WrestleMania was a poor pay-per-view. Great to see no title changes, as he basically puts it. No title changes. How do you guys feel in regards to that? How do you guys feel about the fact that no title changes went down here? And I mean, not for nothing, but when we go back and we look at night 2, Gunther, I mean, did anybody really think Gunther was going to be losing the IC title? He's like, if you've been watching his rise since NXT, no, you're happy for Gunther right now. You want for Gunther to continue to be dominating. And, I know that there's like this little narrative that's out there where, all these old guys on night 2, they pretty much went over. God damn. I hate to see when you guys get ready to turn 33, 34, 35. I guess you guys are going to be considered old too. So remember what you're dishing out right now, because sooner or later you're going to be around that age, if not older. God damn. But Gunther is fucking tearing it up right now, man. So Gunther winning, I don't have an issue with that. Asuka has done any and everything in the WWE. Not that her age matters, because it doesn't. But we're talking about Asuka being 41. And I mean, there's so much that she's done in the WWE. It made all the sense in the world to have this decorated, for sure, future WWE Hall of Famer, Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer, Japanese Pro Wrestling Hall of Famer. Surely you understand that the way this was all laid out, yeah, if you're trying to extend the mystique, the aura that is Bianca Belair even further, especially if you're doing it in a way where ultimately you're going to put a younger face over, which I feel that's exactly what's going to happen with Bianca eventually, then having Bianca Belair go over Asuka, I don't have an issue with that whatsoever. And Bianca still is just scratching the surface. Homegirl is in her early 30s. Okay? She's 33 years old. So, that's still a young person right there as far as I'm concerned. Edge and Balor, am I really going to be tripping over, how old is Edge now? What is Edge? 46, maybe 47, and then Finn Balor. I have been beating the drum to death about they got to do a reboot with Finn Balor. I have beaten that horse to death about, they need to replace Finn Balor. They got to replace him in Judgment Day. It doesn't feel right. They need to do something completely different. Maybe recruit Karrion Kross or whatever, but they got to do something. Switch it up there with Balor. Definitely do a hard reboot there. Cody Rhodes and them, that went down exactly as freaking expected. Most people that were thinking otherwise, sorry, not sorry, but you know what I'm saying? If you really weren't feeling night 1 because of a few title changes here and there, and I just pretty much explained to you some of the logic and why I know you actually want to stick to, hey, I don't know what else to tell you as far as I'm concerned. But a 4 out of 10, Ravi, that's a little harsh. That's a little harsh, a 4 out of 10. Yeah, that's a little harsh. Let's see. All right, so quick programming notes. We got one more show to go, and then your man is going to be on vacation for the rest of the week. So tune in. I will be live this Monday night, April 3rd, 2023, after WWE Raw goes off the air. We're usually on Monday nights after Raw. So this one definitely should be a special episode. It's usually Bizarro World because it's the Raw after Mania. So I'm looking forward to that, checking it out and all that. So we'll be live at 11:05 p.m. Eastern. So join me for that. That'll be great. And like I said, that'll be our last show for the week. Normally, I like to take a week's long vacation after Mania because pump out so many shows. I like to give myself an opportunity to catch up on some rest, catch up with the family and everything, because they are so patient and they work with me during WrestleMania week. They know pretty much, let him be. He's got to do his thing. He's got advertisers, all that good stuff. So, but for you AEW fans, I will technically, because it's only an hour, I will be back on Friday via 411mania.com. I will be providing my live written up coverage for the website in regards to AEW Rampage, and then following it up with a write-up review for the site as well. So bookmark the site, 10 p.m. Eastern that Friday. Come hang out. We got a great chat system, a lot of solid, cool folks that's over there, always having fun in real time while we're watching Rampage. So it's pretty good stuff. Definitely check it out. Be Kind Rewind. Check out the ton of other shows that you can check out on demand and on the downloads. Wherever you get your podcast, just search the RCWR show. We got Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff that's going on. Gotta take the time to thank some of our sponsors that we were able to work with for this whole week in regards to WrestleMania. Definitely want to give a shout out to wolfofdigital.com. If you are an aspiring entrepreneur with a great startup idea but not sure where to start, or maybe you're a small business owner looking to take your business to that next level, wolfofdigital.com can help. They offer a complimentary startup consulting set of services and small business services as they guide you from idea to execution. Whether you need help raising capital, designing and developing a website or app, digital marketing, or business development, they've got a team of experts that has the experience and resources to help. So check them out, wolfofdigital.com. Also want to give a shout out to hbcuklothing.shop. If you are in need of trendy, affordable, and comfortable apparel, hbcuklothing.shop has your hookup, whether you need t-shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, tumblers, sneakers, sweatshirts. They've got it all. HBCU, the actual letter U, clothing.shop. Once again, that's hbcuklothing.shop. Check them out. I got a couple of other sponsors that I definitely want to show some love to. I tell you, we worked with a decent amount of people this week, and I love when we get to work with these folks. Check out the Blue Group app if you are struggling with depression or suicidal tendencies. This app can really help you out big time. It basically gives you the ability to talk to people live in real time, and that's really cool. And it's free. That's the best part. I want to make sure that I stress it's free. Everything is monitored by volunteers, social workers, therapists, doctors, caseworkers. It's really cool. You can talk to somebody just a couple of clicks away. So whatever you might be going through, maybe you don't feel as though you have anybody to talk to, well, with the Blue Group app, you do. So check that out. It's available in the USA region only. You can access it in the Apple Store. So check that out. Also want to give a shout out to the good folks over at ladycaffeine.com. That's caffeine spelled CAFFINE. They spelled it that way on purpose. If you guys love blends, beans, espresso, flavored, check them out. They've got some very interesting flavors. They got hazelnut, chocolate hazelnut, French vanilla, gourmet donut shop, mocha, whiskey barrel aged. That's just for starters. If you want some of the freshest, highest ground coffee at great quality and price, check out ladycaffeine.com. And last but not least, shout out to the good folks over at PassiveIncomeAdvisory.com. They've got a great online course called Investing Made Easy. Teaches beginners how to invest on the stock market. No scams, no get rich quick schemes, just straight up strategies to generate income through smart investments. And this can pretty much set you up on a long-term basis. So check them out, PassiveIncomeAdvisory.com. Also, shout out to friends of the RCWR show with Lee Sanders. I'm looking at you, Missionary Thomas, Joey Numbers of Wrestling Stew. Shout out to my friend Julian Cannon of Digiday and the Nocturnal. Shout out to who else am I forgetting? I'm forgetting somebody else that's in that mix. Shout out to, you know what? I haven't shouted him out in a good minute. Shout out to Screaming Bullseye 1. If you guys are interested in some really badass wrestling sculptures, busts, check him out. That dude is fucking badass. Seriously, fucking badass. Shout out to Wow Women of Wrestling. They always show me love. I definitely want to show them love. I've slept the past couple of weeks, definitely this week because of WrestleMania season. I'm looking forward to getting back on the saddle again and covering WoW action now that Mania has died down. It's over and done with. Looking forward to talking about them some more and everything. So, yeah, good stuff right there. Who else I feel like shouting out right now? I'm just trying to think. Who else maybe I'm interested in shouting out? Shout out to you guys. How about you guys? Let's end it with that. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate whether you be a longtime listener, supporter of the show, or newer, fan, listener of the show. Appreciate you guys that's been taking the time out, especially all this week. This is like usually one of our biggest weeks. Appreciate you guys that's gone out of your way, checked out the content. Hopefully you guys will stick around long-term wise and continue checking out the show, supporting, all that good stuff. If you enjoyed yourself, and I hope you did, go that extra mile, subscribe. Definitely subscribe to the podcast, audio feeds, all that good stuff. Yeah? All right. And on that note, that is going to do it. WrestleMania now officially in the books. Onwards to Raw after WrestleMania. I'll catch you guys at 11:05 p.m. Eastern, April 3rd, 2023, after Raw goes off the air. Until then, be safe and most importantly, be kind to one another. I will see you guys next go round. Take care, y'all. Peace.